Sam, we've both been playing Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. I've been on Pikachu, you've been on Eevee.
Yep.
You played a lot more than me. You're already in the post-game. I'm just like right outside of Lavender Town. I've only just been trying to play it in between Fallout 76, which has been an experience. That said, I went in with Pokemon Let's Go with pretty low expectations. I did not expect a lot, and I didn't know a whole lot, so surprisingly, I am just having a blast with this game.
Well, you know, I had the same mentality too. I really didn't have high hopes for it. I even got to play the game a month early. It was on display at a convention I went to up in Auckland. And they basically only just let you play around the Viridian Forest area, but it gave me an idea of what the game was going to be like, and after playing it, I really didn't have very much high hopes, so I was pleasantly surprised when I was enjoying the game more than I thought I would be.
Yeah, it has enough little minute differences that go a long way. Like, for example, being able to catch the starters, like, out in the wild. I remember going to the Viridian Forest for the first time, and I stumbled upon a Bulbasaur, which completely blew my mind and got me rather excited for the dumbest reasons.
But the thing is, though, is that, you know, because I was breezing through the game, I didn't even know you could do that until you actually told me.
Yeah, I thought I was chaining Metapods or something, and then I stumbled on a Bulbasaur, and it seems you can actually catch all the starters throughout the game. You don't necessarily need to find the trainers and get those specific ones. So.
And one thing I can say about the game is I'm loving the music.
Oh yeah, the music is absolutely incredible. Like, I made it a goal that, like, before I maybe start the video review, I was going to get to Lavender Town. And boy, was that a good decision, because the Lavender Town music is fantastic.
For me, I'd have to say my favourite piece of music would be the gym leader battle and the champion battle. That's always been my favourite from Gen 1.
But in today's episode, we're going to talk about the features we want to see, potentially from this game, in the next game. Because Let's Go necessarily isn't a core game or a mainline game, says Game Freak. And the next game that's going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, hopefully next year, will be a mainline game. So, that said, I kind of wanted to reflect on the stuff that Let's Go does, and what it does well, and that I think could actually service a mainline game. And I think, right now, my absolute favorite feature about Let's Go is that you can actually see the Pokemon in the grass itself. So you can actually pick and choose which Pokemon you want to actually encounter. And that is, it's just such a better system than random encounters.
And the thing about having the Pokemon wandering around on the field is, for those of you who are familiar with Generation 4 and chaining Pokemon to get high IV Pokemon or shiny Pokemon, it brings that mechanic into the Let's Go games, while also making it easier for people getting into the games to sort of understand how it works. And I know you're not up to that point yet, but there are points in the game where you do have to battle Pokemon before you catch them. So for those of you who think it's all about just catching the Pokemon as soon as it appears on the screen, not all of your battles are like that.
If there is one feature I don't want to see, though, it's the Go style catching, the whole flicking the ball thing. Like, I'm not crazy about it. I wasn't crazy about it even on the phone game, on Go itself. And in here, especially when you're playing docked, having to use the Joy-Con, it's not so bad when they're standing still, but the moment the Pokemon start moving around, I have wasted so many balls just trying to simply even attempt to catch them. It's ridiculous.
Have you found yourself, you know, whenever you throw the ball, let's say to the left, it goes in the opposite direction, just flies off to the right somewhere?
Yeah. And, like, you told me you have to, like, keep the Joy-Con itself, like, leveled, where the analog stick is, like, up in the air, basically, and you have to, like, flick it to the left and right like that, matching kind of the Pokeball controller thing, I guess. I'm
not entirely too sure if that's the way to do it. I just found I had the best luck sort of doing it that way.
Yeah, same. If you are playing this game, I recommend just playing in portable the most. We've both been playing in docked because we're both capturing footage for the game itself, so after trying it out right now, like, briefly, it's so much better. It's so much easier using the gyroscope just to aim and throw the ball. But that said, like, if they do include that Go catching mechanic in the next game, battles absolutely need to be back. If there is still, like, a battle with the Pokemon you encounter, and then maybe it switches to the Go catching thing, that might be okay, but I'd still just prefer selecting them all in the inventory, watch the animation, and hoping you catch it personally.
The other thing about the game, and this is something there's a carryover from Go, was you could get bonus experience from Go if you were able to curve the ball. So if you spun the ball around and throw it at a particular angle, it curves around and hits the Pokemon. So that's one thing you can't do in this game, and I was a little disappointed because I'd mastered curveball throwing in Go.
Yeah, you think that would be like a good like experience points multiplier to add to whatever else you're doing, but hey, what do you know?
And so another thing I was hoping to see in future games is one of the things that you come across in post-game content is once you've beaten the champion and you've gone home, master trainers appear on the field. So master trainers are trainers who specialize in one type of Pokemon, and when you battle them, the only Pokemon you can use is the Pokemon that they're the master of. So if you're talking to, let's say, the master, the trainer who's a Charizard master, the only Pokemon you can use against him is Charizard. To make the battle more challenging, you can't use items, you can't switch out Pokemon, and their Pokemon are pretty much almost perfect IVs, and they have used candies on them, so you do need to sort of boost it up with candies, or you can Mega Evolve, or you can strategize your way around them, or if you really want, you can just do it the old-fashioned way and just completely over-level them and stomp them that way.
I'm curious if you could cheese it by switching to the both Joy-Cons and still using two of the Pokemon they're master of. So let's say you're fighting against the Charizard Master Trainer. What if I switch to both Joy-Cons with two trainers and use two Charizards against them?
I think they lock that feature out, so you can't do that.
By the way, that is a broken as hell feature. Don't put that in the next game.
Yes. Although it does make things easier for the catching side of things.
Oh, it's brilliant for the catching stuff, but like, if that comes back, just make it a catching thing and that's it, because it breaks pretty much every mainline battle in the game. And
even just the catching mechanics. I suppose though, the fact that you have to waste 2 balls in order to catch a Pokemon is a good trade-off though.
I guess, but like even then, as long as you're using an Ultra Ball on your main trainer, and then the random trainer that's using the other Joy-Con is using a Pokeball, for example, it doesn't affect the catch rate at all. It'll still go by the Ultra Ball catch rate. So I don't know. It's a little broken. I don't know.
Another thing which I thought was great in this game, which I think should belong in the next game, is once you've beaten the champion, you go home. You're also told that that certain Pokemon that you can have following you, so in this case it's Aerodactyl, Charizard and Dragonite, can fly over buildings and get to places. So instead of going into the main menu selecting to play with your partner and using the special technique to fly, you can just get on your Charizard from Pallet Town and fly over to Viridian City, fly over the hedges to where Diglett's Cave is, or if you're at Lavender Town, you can quite literally just get on your Charizard, fly all the way south and go to Fuchsia City that way.
That's incredible. Can you like make a beeline, for example? Like, could I fly from Pallet Town to Lavender Town and like go in that direction?
Unfortunately, no. So the game does stop you from passing certain checkpoints. Like you can't fly over the wee house thingy that leads you to Viridian Forest. Oh wait, no, you could. You couldn't get to Lavender Town, but you can get to Fuchsia City and to the checkpoint just before Lavender Town. So you would fly south from Pallet to Cinnabar Island and then go to Fuchsia from there.
But you couldn't make like a straight beeline from Pallet to Lavender, basically.
I wish.
Well, that's pretty neat. It's a neat little mechanic to see, and yeah, I would love to see that in the next game for sure. Have you been playing Pokemon Let's Go? If so, what features do you want to see from Let's Go make an appearance in the next game? Let me know down below. But for all your Pokemon news and needs, be sure to head on over to Destructoid.com.